From homeless black man to millionaire, how Donald Trump and Elon Musk inspired the rise. It sounds like some wild story you'd catch on late-night TV. But here we are, smack in the middle of New York City's neon chaos, where dreams and nightmares crash into each other every single night. The headline blares, "From homeless black man to millionaire, how Donald Trump and Elon Musk inspired the rise." The words buzz like a neon sign flickering in the rain. Who is this mystery figure? What secrets twist beneath that flashy claim? But this isn't about a man, it's about Mother Clara. Once a fiery voice in neighborhoods forgotten by the world, now she walks the city's concrete veins like a shadow swallowed by her own story. Clad in a patchwork coat, her eyes are stormy pools filled with burden, years of fighting, losing, and still holding tight to hope. She roams beneath the skyscrapers that seem to pierce the clouds. Cold air bites her skin, and the city's roar drowns out her thought. The smell of grilled food wafts from a sidewalk crowd. Bright screens casting ghostly glows on expectant faces. There's a spectacle, the kind you find in the richest corners. A public tech show flaunting the future, led by a billionaire whose name flashes on every billboard. Jackson Crane. Mother Clara moves closer, blending with the restless crowd. Not for the glory or the comics flashing on giant screens, but for a scrap. Maybe a meal abandoned or a kind gesture. But Crane, the Titan, rumored to have a heart as icy as his bank account, does something no one expects. He stops. He looks right at her. No sneer, no shove, just interest. Their eyes lock, and in that tight, electric moment, the city's noise dulls to a hum. She speaks, words slow, weighed with history. Her voice breaks open the past, a lineage carved in the fight against injustice, a family tangled in civil wars of the heart and soul. She speaks of lost brothers, bruised neighborhoods. And Crane isn't just listening, he shares too. His story crawls out from behind the billion-dollar mask, a tapestry woven with shadows, secrets of loneliness that even his riches can't bury. A shiver runs down Clara's spine as hidden ties unravel. Threads she never imagined connected them. Suddenly, a sharp lens clicks. A reporter appears, eyes hungry, capturing every word, every hesitation, every tear. The story explodes. Overnight, Mother Clara's life cracks open, exposed under a blistering public glare. Hormones of scandal whip through the city with a cruel hunger, and Clara feels the walls closing. But the strangest twist? Crane's own history is entwined with hers in ways neither saw coming. A shared past, a tangled heritage, pushing them into a journey neither asked for, but both desperately need. As the streets watch, as whispers turn into chants, Clara feels a fierce storm raging inside her, between fear, hope, and a question, cutting deeper than any city cold. How much is Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important warning. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube removed their subscriptions without notice. Take a quick look at the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I don't want you to miss any exclusive content that's coming. And since you're here, drop a powerful like that really helps me with the algorithm. Oh, and let me know in the comments, what city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's interact. Clara stands frozen, the buzz of the city slipping into a distant echo. Jackson Crane's gaze pulls her in. Streets of dreams and despair swirl around them, but all she feels is this electric connection. Hope versus fear, a familiar battle she thought she had buried. But there's no time to ponder. A flicker of movement catches her eye. A shadow shifts behind a column, someone watching, eyes glinting like glass shards in the neon. Before she can fully turn, a surge crashes through the crowd. Shouts erupt, breaks the peace. Panic spreads like wildfire as people scramble. Clara's heart races. What is happening? Then it hits her. A sudden blast. The crowd bursts into chaos, screams piercing the air. A figure emerges, clutching a distorted sign, wearing a mask that chills her bones. Words spill from their mouth. You think you know the truth? You know nothing. Each syllable strikes like thunder. Clara stumbles back, but it's too late. Jackson Crane looks confused, his composure shattering. He's a billionaire, used to control, but now fear tightens its grip. The figure pulls off the mask, revealing Clara's estranged brother, lost to the streets years before. His face, weathered but unmistakable, steals her breath. Jonas? The word escapes her, hollow in the uproar. The crowd hushes, confusion etched on every face. The revelation hangs heavy in the thick air. Jonas, presumed dead, stands alive, his story twisting like a knife. You abandoned us, Clara. He tears into her, voice hoarse with pain. You don't even know what it means to truly fight. Crane's eyes dart between the siblings, caught in the storm. What's he thinking? There's unspoken history swirling around them, alive in that moment, clawing at Clara's heart. The truth crashes down. What's a dream without the bloodlines, the sacrifices, the shared wounds? People murmur, intrigued, frightened. Cameras flash, capturing every raw emotion. Clara feels exposed, the warmth in her chest, now a chilling weight. Jonas gestures wildly, his pain igniting the crowd. Words flying like arrows, sharp and merciless. You want to rise? Look at what you've left behind. Wealth means nothing when family is shattered. Crane backs away, eyes widening, the image of his own fractured past reflected in the chaos. He's revealing pieces of himself too. He's not just a billionaire. Can he see the storm brewing around him? Does he wonder what brought Clara to this point? Clara stands rooted, torn between hurt and disbelief. This isn't just about her anymore. The crowd begins to swirl with tension, excitement, but also something darker. A longing for truth wrapped in despair. In that moment, everything shifts. The connection Clara felt with Crane morphs into a distant murmur, swallowed by a rising tide of betrayal and fragmented relationships. What happens next? Will she embrace the storm, or does she hide behind her past? The air thickens with questions, each ripple changing the landscape of her world. As she meets Jonas's stormy gaze, Clara feels a surge of uncertainty. The battle before her isn't just personal, it's collective. A reckoning for everyone tangled in the city's unforgiving web. And as the crowd pushes closer, she grapples with the truth. What will it take to reclaim her voice? The world spins, and Clara stands on the edge of revelation, heart racing, ready to tumble into the unknown. What dark secrets lie beneath this family history? And in this moment, she realizes she might not know the whole truth yet. Mother Clara stands there, breathless, caught in the whirlwind of their shared moment. But then, the unexpected happens. A loud crack echoes through the crowd. A flash of light bursts from a nearby building, followed by a sharp noise, like a thunderclap. The crowd jerks, confusion rippling through faces, laughter vanishing like smoke. Clara's heart pounds. She turns to see chaos erupt. A group of men in dark clothing rush from the shadows, faces hidden, eyes wide with frenzy. "Get down!" one yells, his voice slicing through startled gasps. The camera clicks are replaced by screams. Crane's gaze darts toward the commotion. For a second, he's not a billionaire, but just another person, terrified and uncertain. Clara feels a jolt as he grabs her arm, pulling her behind a food cart. They huddle there, breath shallow, heartbeats hammering in sync. "What's happening?" she whispers, but there's no answer. All she hears now is the panic mounting around them. A tidal wave of fear. The men charge through the crowd, yelling for Jackson. Clara feels the world tilt. Their eyes are wild, frantic. Is this about him? For a moment, she wonders if she's stuck in the middle of some nightmare. Just then, one of the attackers pulls a gun, waving it as if it's an extension of his arm. "No," she gasps, the word slipping out before she has time to think. But nobody can hear her over the chaos. A crushing noise follows as a glass panel shatters above. Shards rain down, and with it, screams multiply. Clara's heart twists in her chest as people scramble away, heartbeats drumming like a funeral march. In that split second, she glances at Crane. Their eyes lock again. His are wide, a storm brewing. But there's something more. A flicker of recognition, a silent understanding. Before she can grasp the implications of the look, Crane pulls her closer, shielding her with his body. She's afraid. Afraid of the danger closing in. Afraid of what that look means. Then, from the corner of her eye, she notices a woman, panic-stricken, pushing her way through the crowd. Her hair is wild, her eyes frantic. Clara's breath catches. It's Clara's old friend from years back, Naomi, someone who knew everything about her past, everything she buried. But now, she has news etched in her expression, news that could change everything. "Clara!" Naomi shouts, but before she can reach her, a shot rings out, splitting the air. The crowd surges, people screaming, trampling each other in their bid to escape. Crane's grip tightens around Clara's waist. "Stay down," he barks, but his voice is drowned out by the bedlam. In the chaos, Clara spots something slip from Naomi's grasp. A photo? A piece of paper, crumpled with urgency. It lands near Clara's feet. Their eyes meet for a heartbeat. Then, just like that, Naomi disappears into the fray. But the paper lies there, an ominous whisper waiting to be uncovered. Clara hesitates, her heart racing. Should she grab it? What if it holds secrets meant only for the dark? The moment hangs heavy. A pull tugs at her. But with every second, the noise swells. In the distance, more sirens wail, drawing closer. And the weight of the unfolding chaos presses down like lead. What secrets lurk in that scrap? What truth could change her life, tie her more deeply to Jackson Crane? As the world continues to spiral into panic around them, Clara feels the rising storm inside her, her heart clenched tight with fear, bearing the torment of urgent choices. Will she claim the answer, whatever it is, or will it remain buried, lost in the shadows of her past? The answer could ignite a fire she may not be ready to face. Clara's heart races, her instincts screaming for movement. She steals a glance at the crumpled photo on the ground, torn between diving for the potential truth and the chaos swarming around her. Gunfire echoes like thunder. Moments stretch into eternity as adrenaline floods her veins. "Stay down!" Jackson Crane's shout pulls her back. His grip tightens, anchoring her like a lifeline amidst the storm. In her peripheral vision, she catches it. The crumpled paper shaking in the wind. A whisper calling out from the ground. A single drop of hope amid the madness. But the moment shatters. Another shot rings out, sharper, crackling through the air. People scream, not just fear, but primal, raw terror. The sea of bodies shifts, collapsing in frantic escape. Clara wavers, ready to leave the truth behind, until she feels something pushing against her leg. Frantic, she reaches down and picks it up. A photo. Her breath catches. It's old and worn, edges frayed. She stares, the world around her fading into a blur. The faces smile back. She recognizes that boy. Young Jonas, laughing, arms around Clara, and a woman she doesn't know. But there's something familiar in her eyes. Who is she? The words slit through her mind. Naomi's figure tumbles back into focus. Her mouth opens to scream, but words are lost in the chaos, drowning in the noise. Clara instinctively holds the photo against her chest. A shield, a secret. But the second shot isn't just noise. It pierces deeper, shaking the ground. An earthquake, shattering the illusion of safety. Then, from the throng, a flash, down on the ground, a body sprawled. Everything sweeps into sharp clarity. A man, dressed in black. But the angles of his face, they don't make sense. Clara squints through the whirlwind, and dread blooms in her chest. No way. Jonas? Her voice slices through the chaos. There's no answer, just the sound of more chaos, more screaming. Her brother's face shifts in memory, an echo of laughter. The man is familiar, he has to be. But closer now, she sees it. A silver pin glinting on his jacket. A symbol she had never spoken of out loud. A family emblem, long buried. So secret, she once thought it lost. "Jonas!" she cries again. But she stops short as another figure appears. A woman breaks through the crowd. Head high, power radiating from her presence. Clara's heart sinks. It's their mother, Alma. The woman who disappeared from their lives, leaving nothing but questions. Why is she here? And why now? As the chaos ebbs around them, Clara feels shadows uncurling from her past. She watches as Alma strides toward Jonas, a fierce look in her eyes. "I didn't abandon you, Jonas. I was taken. Can't you see? I came back for you." Clara's heart cracks open. The truth whispers that none of this is what she thought. The siblings gawk, confusion twisting their expressions, and the storm within Clara churns. The spotlight of her past hovers over them now, revealing everything in blinding light. Jonas's face shifts from rage to confusion. You? Taken? You left us. You left me. His voice licks at Clara's core, hot and raw. But as Alma steps closer, something breaks. A tremor runs through her, sending shockwaves around them all. Her hands shake as if holding back a tide of memories. You think I wanted this life for any of you? I tried to protect you. Clara stands in shock, the photo slipping from her fingers, landing beside her, forgotten. Everything she thought she knew, the fight for survival, the grit, the pain, suddenly feels like an illusion held together by frayed threads. Then, as the crowd holds its breath, Alma's eyes shine with urgency. You need to know the truth. There's a reason for everything. Her voice trembles, taking a dangerous turn. And it's not just about Jackson. It's about the family, our legacy. It's all connected. As memories crash against her mind like waves, Clara's reality starts to spin. She can almost see her future unraveling into threads of disbelief. What? What do you mean? But in a flash, before the answer comes, another shot fires, louder, affirming the chaos, and everything shatters. The air thickens, gasps surround them. Clara's heart clenches, bracing for the fallout. Who is the real enemy? What truth lies buried in their blood? And as the crowd gasps, her question hangs, echoing in the neon shadows. Can she still reclaim her voice when everything she believed crumbles before her eyes? Clara stands there, heart pounding like a drum in the sudden silence. Jackson Crane's face holds a mix of empathy and surprise, but then the moment shatters like glass. A shout erupts from the edge of the crowd. Stop! What are you doing? Everybody turns. A man in a dark coat pushes forward, eyes wild, rage twisting his face. Get away from her, you snake! His voice cuts through the night like a knife. Clara's stomach drops. She recognizes him. It's Marcus, someone from her past, a figure wrapped in shadows. Someone who once promised to protect her, but betrayed her trust. She stares, half in disbelief and half in fear. Why is he here? Marcus, she breathes, the name a question hanging heavy in the chilled air. This isn't what it looks like, Crane says, raising his hands in a gesture of peace. But Marcus steps closer, fists clenched, his voice low and menacing. You didn't deserve to be in the spotlight, Clara. You're just a pawn. The crowd is restless. Murmurs ripple through them, confusion hanging thick as fog. Cameras flash. Reporters scramble to capture the drama. Drama that's lurking around them, waiting to boil over. Don't you see? Marcus continues, his voice rising. He's using you, just like everyone else did. You think you can trust him? He's a monster in a suit. Clara's heart races, each beat echoing her internal chaos. She wants to turn away, to run, to shake off the weight of his accusations. But she's rooted to the spot, exposed. What does Marcus know? What secrets does he hold? Crane's gaze shifts between them, his brow furrowing. He finds his voice again. Stop! I don't want to hurt her. Hurt her? Marcus laughs, a harsh sound that cuts through the crowd. You wouldn't know the meaning of the word, would you? You live in a world of silver and gold, while she's fought every day just to breathe. Suddenly, there's commotion. A woman steps out of the throng, face pale. A stranger to Clara, but urgency lines her features. Marcus, stop! This isn't the time! Who's he? He turns, disbelief washing over him. What are you doing here? What am I doing here? She shakes her head. You're about to ruin everything. Clara's mind races. Everything? What does she mean? What's lurking beneath the surface? Is there a connection between these two? Then Lucy turns to Clara, eyes wide, desperation creeping in. You don't know, do you? Know what? Clara asks, voice trembling, feeling the ground shifting beneath her feet. About your family. The words hang heavy, a weight pressing down on Clara's chest. They're not who you think they are. You come from something bigger, something dangerous. If they find out you're here... Before she can finish, the temperature drops. A chill sweeps through the crowd, a tension thick enough to cut. Reveal what? Clara whispers, fear creeping up her spine. But everything erupts. The energy shifts, a wave of panic washing over the collective consciousness. Someone screams, a cacophony of shouts, echoing like thunder. The crowd surges, pushing and pulling, chaos igniting in the air. In that moment, Clara feels lost, broken. Everything she thought she understood fractures like glass. The lights flicker overhead, illuminating fear and confusion. She looks between Jackson and Marcus, the world tilting around her. Questions float like fog in her mind. How deep does this rabbit hole go? And what nightmares lurk behind her family name? The answers slip away, and in that disarray, the question burns hot within her. Who am I really? Their eyes remain locked, the city noise fading into a murmur. But just as Clara feels the thread of understanding stitch them together, a sharp bang slices through the air. People scream. Time slows. A flash of red and blue lights blinks urgently in the distance, cutting through the chaos like a knife. A voice spills from the crowd, trembling. Gunshots! Clara's heart drops, a cold weight dragging her down. She looks at Crane, confusion morphing into panic. The crowd surges backward, people pushing, shoving, every face a mask of fear. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifts, confusion morphs into chaos, and the delicate moment shared between them shatters. Get down! Shouts a man, his voice cracking like thunder. Clara instinctively crouches, her knees hitting the cold, hard pavement. She can barely breathe. Her palms are clammy against the ground, a grim reminder of vulnerability biting at her. Jackson Crane moves too. He steps forward, parting the sea of panicked bodies, a guardian angel amid stormy skies. Everyone, remain calm, he calls, though his voice shakes. He's trying to take control, to protect, but then something catches Clara's eye. A figure emerging from the shadows, gun drawn. Her breath catches. The world sharpens. It's a woman, fierce and wild-eyed, saying something Clara can't quite hear over the screams. A roar of anger mixed with desperation spills from the woman's lips. You think you can hide? Clara's heart races. Behind her, she feels the weight of Crane's presence, steady and resolute, yet swelling with anxiety now. He glances at Clara, panic flickering in his eyes like a candle about to snuff out. The crowd is moving, but Clara's feet feel glued to the pavement, an anchor to the chaos unfolding. The woman raises the gun, and a gut-wrenching realization slices through Clara. This isn't just some random act of terror. This woman, her voice, her fire, it feels eerily familiar. Clara! Crane's shout breaks the spell. Get down! But it's too late. The woman locks eyes with Clara, the searing recognition passing between them. Mother Clara! She screams, her anger spilling into the night. You left me behind. The world goes silent for a heartbeat. Clara's heart hammers. It's like a drum echoing memories of a long-buried past. A sister? A daughter? She can't remember, can barely breathe through the swell of emotions engulfing her. The city blurs, her history unfurling like a flower in quicksand, suffocating. No! Clara gasps. You! Before she can finish, the shot rings out. A scream pierces the night. Everything transpires in a flash. Bodies hit the ground. Panic reigns. Clara feels the sharp sting of something colliding with her shoulder. She stumbles back, dazed, blinking against the chaos. The crowd surges around her, a wave pulling her into an unknown abyss. Amidst the screams and sirens, the paradox of clarity and confusion settles into Clara's chest. There are secrets buried deep beneath layers of hurt, and now they are bubbling to the surface. Muahahaha! The twist of fate pulls them all into a shared storm they never expected. A distant figure, Jackson Crane, kneels beside her. His face is pale, every shadow of his life unraveling before their eyes. What do we do? He whispers, voice trembling. Clara feels the weight of her past crash over her like a tidal wave, dragging her under. A question echoes in her mind. What will it take to reclaim her voice, her truth? The world spins, and she knows nothing. The connections, the heritage, everything is about to unravel. Outside, the sirens wail louder. A new chaos is brewing, and Clara feels it all spiral away as the night darkens around them. Clara's heart races, caught in the web of shared stories. The crowd around them buzzes with anticipation, eyes darting between the two figures, caught in their own moment. But all at once, the air thickens, something shifts. A loud crash shatters the intimacy, a heavy weight slamming against the pavement nearby, making everyone jump, including Clara and Crane. A glimmering tray spills onto the street, plates flying like startled birds, taco fillings splat before they can breathe. Chaos erupts. A figure dashes through the crowd, tall, frantic, wild-eyed. It's a man, breathing hard, his clothes tattered, face streaked with dirt. He shouts something nonsensical. They're coming! They know! Panic seeps into the space between breaths. A hush sweeps over the gathering. People exchange glances, uncertainty rolling like thunder. Clara's stomach twists. A terrible familiarity grips her. She'd seen desperate eyes before, felt that raw fear lurking in shadowed corners. She had once been that person, running from something unseen. Then, without warning, the man collapses into the crowd, a body crumpling to the ground. The thud echoes sharp and final as people's hands clutch their mouths. "Get back! Get back!" someone shouts. The anxiety thickens the air. Clara's instinct stirs again. She takes a step forward. Jackson follows, but he's not looking at the man anymore. His eyes dart around the square, seeking something or someone among the backdrop of fear. Suddenly, he turns back to Clara, confusion etched on his face. "What do we do?" he asks, a crack splitting that $1,000,000 demeanor. At that moment, a low rumble grows, sirens wailing in the distance. Clara's pulse quickens. She can sense it. The energy of the city shifting. It's as if the night itself holds its breath, teetering at the edge of a darker truth. Without thought, she extends her hand to the fallen man. "Help him," Clara commands, her voice stronger than she feels. She barely recognizes it. This is a woman who fought for herself years ago, never expecting to finally feel the ground beneath her, uneven, trembling feet. Jackson hesitates, caught in this swirling storm of panic and urgency. Then he kneels beside the man and checks for a pulse, the gesture raw against the chaos surrounding them. His brow furrows deeper, and Clara's heart squeezes. Something is wrong. Then, just when it seems the crowd might rally, a woman races forward from the back, face flushed with apprehension. "It's him!" she screams. "They'll find him! He knows!" The statement echoes chill down Clara's spine. The sirens grow closer, a harbinger of something imminent, something grim. "What does she mean?" Clara whispers, uncertainty creeping inside her. But she already knows. Fear grips Crane's face, a flicker of something vulnerable crossing the threshold of privilege. The street jolts with energy, and panic ripples like waves. Suddenly the man stirs, the soft groan. But the eyes that flutter open aren't just frightened, they're hunted. Mother Clara feels it then. They're not simply connected by a shared struggle. This man, he's part of something larger, a ghost sprung from the ashes, and it changes everything. Names float back to her from the dusty corners of memory, names that set her heart racing. The world spins. Who is this man? And what on earth does he know about her past? The looming sirens break through the fog, and the tension peaks as bitter truths threaten to spill into the night. Clara's resolve hardens. The questions explode inside her. What is she willing to uncover? What web of history will unravel before her? And can she hold on to the hope that keeps her alive? As the sirens draw nearer, the night grows darker. The sirens wail like demons, drawing closer. As Clara stands frozen, Jackson Crane kneels beside the crumpled man, whose breaths come shallow and frantic. The crowd pulses and shifts, the anxiety thickening everything around them. "Who is he?" Clara breathes, inching closer as Jackson examines him. "I don't know," he answers, his voice tight. "But he looks rough. We need to get him out of here." The man blinks, confusion clouding his eyes. He looks between them, then suddenly gasps, "You have to run. They'll come for you." They know! His voice trembles, each word laced with desperation. Clara feels tightness in her chest. "Who knows?" she asks, but the words barely escape, drowned in the rising tide of chaos. A ripple spreads among the crowd, a fluid mix of curiosity and horror, fear etched on every face. And that's when it happens. A figure swathed in black emerges from the chaos, moving forward with a laser-like focus. Clara's pulse quickens. instinct screaming to flee. But she's paralyzed, tethered to the growing storm. "Father!" the shadowy figure calls, voice soaring over the murmurs. A gasp explodes in the crowd, echoing through the charged air. Clara's heart drops, as if the world shifts under her feet. "Father?" Her breath catches, an anchor in the whirlwind. The man's eyes meet Clara's for a quick second, immediate recognition painted across his face. But it's shadowed by surprise and deep-seated anger. "No," the fallen man whispers, trembling every syllable. "I left that life behind. I won't go back." "What is happening?" Clara's voice barely makes it through the noise. Then, with startling clarity, the man from the shadows steps forward, pulling down his mask. Clara's heart thunders. A familiar face, lines of history etched deep into the skin. "Dad?" The word spills from her lips, a mixture of disbelief and horror tumbling forth. But this is impossible. He left long ago, became a ghost in her memories, mythologized through time and loss. "Why are you here?" she breathes. "I had to find you," he gasps, desperation swimming in the depths of his voice. "The deeper I go, the more violent it gets. They're coming for me, for all of us. You're not safe, Clara." The crowd watches, silence falling like thick fog. Punctuated only by the distant wail of sirens. Clara's world spins again, and everything she believed about family flips. Who are these people? Jackson Crane's gaze darts between the three of them, confusion painting his features. "What do you mean, they?" he asks, his voice sharp, cutting through the disarray. "Those who took me, who want both of you. They'll stop at nothing." Clara's father stumbles backward, eyes wide with fear, as if he can see shadows creeping in every direction. A sudden crack slashes through the air, a sound so sharp and jarring it breaks the trance. A moment of chaos explodes, bodies jerking, confusion flaring brighter. Clara's mind races, heart hammering in her chest. What's the truth buried in those words? Who are they all running from? Was the past really hidden, or was it lurking just beneath the surface of their lives, waiting to strike? "Run!" her father yells, fear merging with a tinge of desperation. "They're here!" At that moment, the world tilts again. A dark van screeches around the corner, tires screeching against pavement, doors flinging open with ruthless urgency. Figures leap out, clad in black, faces obscured, eyes fierce against the glow of street lamps. Clara's breath hitches. "Get in," says Jackson, pulling her forward. But she's caught, torn between kinship and fear, between truth and betrayal. Their eyes lock. The weight of the moment crashes around them. She feels the urgency, the energy, yet the shadow of her past looms larger than any truth disguised. Who can she trust now? Who truly understands the tangled web of fate they share? The crowd erupts into chaos, screams rising like smoke on the wind, fear mutating into raw energy. As she glances back at her father, two worlds collide. And uncertainty hangs heavy. Suddenly, everything shifts. A blinding flash erupts. Gunfire echoes. Clara stares, her blood turning to ice. What if all along they were merely pawns in a game she never chose? And as the figures converge, she knows with a gut-wrenching certainty She's standing at the edge of a nightmare she barely understands. Where will this dark thread unravel? And what price will she pay to uncover the truth hiding in the shadows? Clara's breath catches, her mind racing as the darkness churns with fear. The sirens scream closer, a cacophony of urgency wrapping around her. But her father's shocked face holds her captive. Words spill from him, but they're nothing but echoes against the deafening noise. How could this be? Why is he suddenly here? The black-clad figures surge forward, shadows rising with menace. Clara feels her heart pounding like a hammer, a frantic rhythm as she glances back at Jackson. Their eyes meet, fear, resolve, confusion swirling in his gaze. She wants to know more. She needs to understand what's happening. But the man in front of her shouts again, voice rising over the chaos. I swear, I didn't mean for any of this to come out. Clara, listen. But before she has a chance to respond, a loud bang splits the air. A gunshot, or something worse. A noise raw with finality. The crowd gasps collectively. A wave of voices merging into a single shuddering breath. Clara's stomach drops. This is not how she planned to confront her past. Then it gets worse. The weight of the moment pushes down, thick with tension. Clara's father jerks, his eyes widening, and suddenly he starts to back away. Clara, run! His voice is urgent, filled with a terror that ignites a primal need to escape. They're after our blood, all of us. What do you mean, she pleads, caught in the web of panic and disbelief. Who? Jackson presses, stepping closer, his eyes flitting from Clara to her father. But before they can pull the threads tighter, the figures in black converge, their faces still obscured. It's like watching storm clouds gather overhead. Then a woman breaks through, a flash of familiarity. Clara's heart stops as she recognizes her mother. Alma, standing resolute, her face sharp with determination. Enough! Alma's voice booms, cutting through the chaos like a knife. We need to talk about the truth. Clara's head spins. This is too much. The weight of everything collides. The figure closest to her, her father, looks shocked. But there's something wrong in his eyes. Something tells her he knows exactly what's at stake. But without warning, Alma takes a step forward, and something inside Clara snaps. She can't stand it. The stories, twisting and intertwining, revealing dark secrets that feel too raw to swallow. You both left me with nothing but shadows, she yells, her voice cracking. Clara, Alma's voice shifts, steeped in a quiet desperation. Oh, that's not how it is. A deafening crack rings out. Another shot. The crowd's screams merge into a frenzy, thunder rolling through the streets. Clara's heart races as a body drops in the distance. The world tilts again. Then everything goes dark. As if a storm just swept in, the lights around them blink. Red, then blackout. Confusion dulls the chaos as everyone seems to hold their breath. And in that heavy silence, a figure emerges from the shadows, stepping into the now dim light. It's Jackson. Clara, stay where you are. His voice booms, but there's something off. The way he stands looks menacing, energy radiating around him like a predator lurking in the trees. And the shocking twist lands like a grenade. Clara blinks, disbelief flooding her. Something shifts in his expression. He's hiding something, a truth she can't decipher. You think I'm a monster? He sneers, fists clenched, eyes narrowing with intensity. You don't know the first thing about power. Jackson, what are you talking about? This can't be real. Her stomach twists. The pieces she believed to hold some kind of unity unravel, leaving her floating in an abyss of doubt. His laughter cuts through the tension, sharp and hollow. You've been so blind, Clara. This isn't about family anymore. It's about survival. You're part of something bigger than yourself. The words wrap around her like chains, dragging her into a reality she never chose. Shock clings to her skin. What do you mean? But she doesn't get an answer. The lights flicker back on, illuminating the fear in the crowd. All eyes glued to this new revelation. Who has she aligned herself with? Jackson Crane, the supposed savior, now seems to wear a mask shrouded in darkness, entangled with the very secrets that haunt her every step. And as whispers swirl, Clara feels the foundation of everything begin to quake beneath her. In that moment, everything shatters. Every trust, every bond, every shred of safety she thought she possessed. What now? How much has changed? What price will she pay to discover the depths of this betrayal? Clara's heart pounded against her chest as chaos erupted around them. Jackson's eyes darkened, a grave seriousness sweeping over him. She looked from him to her father, the man whose return felt like a storm brewing, and then back to the shadows that crept closer. Is this what it's about? The power? She shouted, voice trembling. Is that why you're all here? Jackson opened his mouth, words caught in a whirlwind of tension. No, Clara. It's bigger than that. I wanted to protect you. But before she could respond, her father lunged forward, panic twisting his features. I didn't come to fight, Clara. I'm here to save you. The tension snapped like a rubber band, and the black-clad figures lunged. Get down! Someone barked. Clara ducked, instinctively grabbing Jackson's wrist. But as the first shot rang out, everything changed. Alma stood, fearless. Enough, we're done running, she shouted, her voice cutting through the chaos. The crowd held its breath, caught between fear and hope. Mom, don't! Clara shouted, but the words barely left her lips. A scuffle erupted, bodies colliding. Clara squeezed Jackson's hand tighter, feeling the raw terror pulse between them. Then they heard a scream. Clara! It was Naomi, pushing through the crowd, eyes wild. You need to leave. Now! But the reality was crashing down. She realized all at once that running wouldn't solve anything. No, I won't run! Not again! With each second, the flames of disarray grew hotter. Her father stumbled, caught off guard, and Clara's heart split. Remember who you are, he yelled, desperation amplifying his words. We don't have to repeat the past. Clara had fought to reclamar su voz en ahora, mientras que las sombras aventaban sobre su familia, sintíase desgarrarse de nuevo. Jackson, que habría clavado la voz pulvorente mareando puntelaro, decía adelante, vamos a hacerlo juntos. El grito, eléctrico, tensión acimando y tena como ya total para polvorar. Clara felt the surge of a collective heartbeat, a wild blend of fear and hope stretching across the faces around her. Then, like a shaken bottle of soda, energy erupted. Clara's heart raced as she felt the shift in power. The figures in black swarmed closer, but for every move they made, Clara pushed back, determined to stand her ground. "It's more than power," Jackson said loudly, addressing the figures advancing on them. "It's about family, and we will fight for our truth." The moment hung heavy in the air, silence draping over the chaos. Clara's father shot her a look, eyes wild with emotion. Would they pull apart, or would they come together? But then, the unexpected happened. The figures hesitated, eyes darting from Clara to Jackson, waiting. And in that moment of uncertainty, a flicker like a light bulb turning on in the dark, Clara dropped her guard. "No more lies!" Her voice rang out fierce like fire. "I will know who I am, and I'll fight for the truth." The ambiguity thickened again, tension oozing as the crowd leaned in, anticipation hanging like fog. Clara's heart thundered against the stillness. She felt the courage swelling inside her. This was her moment, the climax of a story painted with shadows and light. A painful pause stretched as truth hung between them. The world around her was fragile, teetering on the edge. But beneath the chaos was something more, a bond unbreakable, stronger than any fear. Then the silence shattered. A final shot fired, but it rang out like a wake-up call. Bystanders screamed, scattering like leaves in a storm. Clara's hand shot up as she faced the dark figures, eyes aflame. "Who are you to dictate our fate?" she yelled, voice bold yet trembling. And just like that, everything hung in the balance. Would truth prevail? Could they finally break the cycle of pain? As the figures began to retreat, Clara felt the storm shift. A doorway to a new future opened, possibilities hanging like ripe fruit. The voices of her past, her family, whispered behind her, echoing in harmony, their stories woven together, ready to reclaim the light. But then came a deeper question. What was waiting for them on the other side? With hearts racing and uncertainty looming, Clara, Jackson, her father, and Alma stood side by side, ready to face the dawn of an uncertain future. You have to subscribe now. Don't miss a single moment of these incredible stories that are coming up. Smash that like button now to feed the algorithm and ensure we keep bringing you the latest adventures. Flood the comment section below with your reactions. We want to hear your theories about this ending. And please, don't wait even a second longer to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this ending. You're part of something bigger, and your support makes all the diff.